So, for the past couple of weeks, we haven't touched Bhagavad Gita. So, just to do a little recap, what we discussed so far in this introduction chapter. So far, so far in the introduction chapter, first we discussed about Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita is a part, or is also known as Gita Upanishad. It is part of Upanishad. Normally, all the Upanishads are supplementary to Vedas. So we all know that there are 4 Vedas, and Vedas teaches us how we should behave, how we should follow, how we should lead our life. But that is for mostly intelligent people, and so to complement that, or whatever is missing, or in fact for other people to also to follow, the Upanishads have been derived from it. So Upanishads have been spoken, or Upanishads have been discussed, the same essence that was there in Vedas. Out of all that 108 Upanishads, sorry, out of all 108 Upanishads, Gita Upanishad or Bhagavad Gita is the supreme. It is the supreme. So it has the essence. Why especially? Because this was spoken by Krishna. And especially if we look at the environment when, or the scenario where he's spoken in the middle of a battle, isn't it? Give me a second. Sorry for that. I think my cough is still there. If I constantly, speak for 5 minutes, I think I'm getting this cough. So I think I'll speak a little slow then. So, so Gita Upanishad is spoken by Krishna in the middle of a battle. So especially this is, if we look at the battle of Kurukshetra, what is it telling us? Like basically, if we look at a very holistically, some people say this is a fighting between cousins, or some people say this is fighting, to get, the kingdom from one to another. But if we really look at it, this is Krishna orchestrated to teach us something. Because if we look at Kurukshetra happened, or Kurukshetra war has happened at the end of Dwapara Yuga. That means what is coming in? Kali Yuga is coming in. Kali Yuga is coming in, and already the knowledge has been lost. So we are walking into the age of iron, or walking into the age of darkness, and there is no knowledge how to behave, how to correct. So Krishna, between these two yugas, Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga, he is taking this time to teach something to the people in Kali Yuga. So Krishna orchestrated this entire Mahabharata. So especially Bhagavad Gita is speaking what? The Bhagavad Gita is speaking 5 subject matters. 5 subject matters. What are those 5 subject matters? Ishvara, that is the Supreme Lord, Jiva, that is the soul, Atma, ourself, and then Prakriti, that is the nature where we are all living in, and then time. Time is the one that, you know, takes us back and forth, right? We die, we born, we die, we born because of the time. These four are basically eternal, eternal, always exist, always exist. There is also one last one, which is karma. Karma, basically, karma manifests based on the work we perform. If we do good things, karma manifests as punya, and we go to upper planetary systems and enjoy there. And if we do bad things, it manifests and we go to hellish planets and we suffer there. So, based on the work we perform, this karma manifests, and if we do good karma, go to upper planets, bad karma, go to lower planets. Now, is this all we have? Is this all we have? No, there is something else, something beyond, something beyond. What is that something beyond? Something beyond, those are spiritual planets where the Supreme Lord personally resides. So, where the Supreme Lord personally resides. So, if we wanted to go personally to these planetary systems, we have to do something special. Something special. Why? Because there the Lord is a person. So when there is a person, naturally what we do? We do service. Service. Without service, we don't develop relationship, isn't it? Take in our household. What do we do? Our household. All the members in the family service one another, isn't it? Service one another. Serving comes when there is a person. When there is no person, there is no question of serving. For example, I am sitting in America. My mother is in India. I may think about my mother. I may think about in my mind that I am doing some service to my mother. But is it really? In my mind, I am doing it, but my mother is not feeling anything. So, if I want a service to my mother, I have to go to India or my mother has to come here. So, it is between two persons, that is service. The same way, if we wanted to serve the Lord, we have to do something, that is bhakti. We have to do service. That is why bhakti is translated as loving service. It is not just devotion. Bhakti means devotion. No, devotional service. It is not devotion. It is devotional service. So, service what it is. So far we discussed about these five aspects and we discussed about the difference between Ishvara and Jiva. So especially, let's see where we discussed that one. Okay, here it is. Okay, I think this is the last chapter we discussed about before we stop. So, the distinction between Jiva and Isvara is explained in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, in one sense, if I know about myself, that is Jiva. It is Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna. Kshetra means our body. The person who knows our body is called Kshetrajna. That means the Atma, which is sitting inside me, knows about this body, is called Kshetrajna. How about the Lord? The Lord is Paramakshetrajna. That means Lord knows everyone what is the going through. I only know about my body. I only know about what is happening inside me. I don't know about all of you. All of you. I don't know. Even if I look at outside, probably I can tell based on your appearance. If you are happy, not happy, that is all I can tell. But personally, what you are feeling inside, I don't know. Because I am not Kshetrajna. I am not living in everyone's body. Krishna is living in everyone's body. That is the difference. So, we are Kshetrajna. We are the knower of our body. The Supreme Lord is knower of everyone. Everyone. That is the difference. So, our potential, even though we are superior in nature compared to the material nature, but still our energy is limited. I am superior, undoubtedly. I can animate this body, right? Elephant is there. If elephant dies, there is nothing that elephant makes move. The soul sitting inside the elephant makes the elephant move. So it has the energy, but that energy is limited. Limited to that body, limited to that kshetra. That is all it is. So this is the difference. This is the supreme consciousness. So let us read from here. You all can read few paragraphs. So who would like to start first? Any new people? Any new people? That would be real wonderful. Any would like to try? If not, I'll ask one of the.
I'll read Prabhuji.
Yes, Vasavi.
The supreme conscious Ishvara is similar to the living entity in this way. Both the consciousness of the Lord and that of the living entity are transcendental. It is not that consciousness is generated by the association of matter. That is a mistaken idea. The theory that consciousness develops under certain circumstances of material combination is not accepted in the Bhagavad Gita. Consciousness may be pervertedly reflected by the covering of material circumstances, just as light reflected through colored glass may appear to be a certain color, but the consciousness of the Lord is not materially affected. Lord Krishna says, Maya Jakshena Prakritihi. When he descends into the material universe, his consciousness is not materially affected. If he were so affected, he would be unfit to speak on transcendental matters as he does in the Bhagavad Gita. One cannot say anything about the transcendental world without being free from materially contaminated consciousness. So, the Lord is not materially contaminated. Our consciousness at the present moment, however, is materially contaminated. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that we have to purify this materially contaminated consciousness. In pure consciousness, our actions will be dotated to the will of the Ishvara, and that will make us happy. It is not that we have to cease all activities. Rather, our activities are to be purified, and purified activities are called bhakti. Activities in bhakti appear to be like ordinary activities, but they are not contaminated. An ignorant person may see that a devotee is acting or working like an ordinary man, but such a person with a poor fund of knowledge does not know that the activities of the devotee or of the Lord are not contaminated by impure consciousness or matter. They are transcendental to the three modes of nature. We should know, however, that at this point our consciousness is contaminated.
Yeah, you can stop it here, Mataj.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So here it is, the difference between us and the Lord. When the Lord transcends or appears in this material world, see the difference here. See, consider there is a mud pit. It's full of mud. Okay? We jump in a mud pit. What will happen? When we jump in a mud pit, what will happen? Our body is smeared with mud, isn't it? So there is no way we can escape it. There is no way we can escape it. So we jumped into this material world. What is this material world made up of? This material world first made up of the desires. The desires in three categories: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. These are the three kinds of desires this material world. When we jumped in, we definitely smeared with mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. One of the three or all the three. So there is no way we can escape it. There is no way we can escape it. Now, what is the difference between Lord and us? When the Lord jumped into this material world, when the Lord jumped into this material world, then what happened? He is also in this material world. We are also in this material world. What is the difference between him and us? He can control those desires. He can control those desires. The desires are not controlling him. He controls those desires. But us, the desires are controlling us, isn't it? The desire is the one that makes all of us coming from India to America, is it not? Even we left our loved ones behind and came to America. That is the desire. The desire controlling us. Everything is desire driven based, is it not? I wanted to live from an apartment to an independent home. I wanted to have a car of my own instead of traveling in a public transportation. All are some sort of desire driven, is it not? Our desires are controlling us. But in case of Lord, none of the desires controls the Lord. Krishna is Atma Rama. So he controls the desires. He also called Rishikesha. Rishikesha means one who controls the senses, who controls the desires, who controls everything. So in case of Krishna, he controls it. In case of us, we are controlled by. So when I said, when we jump into the mud pit, our body is made with mud. Now look at another example. A lotus. I don't know how many of you are familiar with lotus. The lotus also born in the mud. Some sort of semi-water, semi-mud actually. If you look at it, the leaves of lotus, it born out of water, but the leaves never touch the water. The water never touch the leaves, even though the water droplets on the leaves. That means there is no wetness in the leaf of a lotus. So in other words, we have to live like the leaves of lotus. Even though born, we should not get touched. That means even though we born in the desired or the desirous world, we have to live like no desire at all. How do we do that? How do we do that? That means it's impossible. This world is filled with desires. So where is the question of desirelessness? Where is that? There is no such thing. That means we have to make this desire as the desire of Krishna. As the desire of Krishna. Then everything is fine. We cannot remove desires from this world. This world is made up of desires. Made up of this modes of nature. We cannot remove the modes of nature, but make this modes of nature work for Krishna, then that will be fine. Then that will be fine. The simple example, the Janmashtami that we celebrated few days back. In fact, if we look at it in an outer set, this is exactly same as another marriage festival, marriage ceremony, right? Or a birthday party. It's in a mundane level, material level. All we did is we cooked, we invited people, we decorated, and we celebrated the birthday. It is exactly the same ordinary people will do this birthday. A rich people invite all the people and give gifts and everything, and feed everyone, do that. That is exactly what we did. We work, they work. The only difference is they work for themselves and they work to please others, but we work for Krishna, and we work and our aim is to please Krishna, not others. Not others. By pleasing Krishna, we please others. But there, they pleasing themselves. That is the difference. Even though our work appears like normal, ordinary, simple, but the effect is quite different, because this is centered around Krishna, that is centered around material. That is the difference. Now let us see, he is explaining about consciousness a bit. If you look at it here in this next chapter, he is explaining about consciousness. Now, one more person, can someone read this paragraph? Anyone?
Yes, Prabhuji, shall I?
Yes,
Hare.
Nilima Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
When from here only, no, Prabhuji, when we are...
Yes, Mataji, the one I highlighted.
Yeah, okay. When we are materially contaminated, we are called conditioned. False consciousness is exhibited under the impression that I am a product of material nature. This is called false ego. One who is absorbed in the thought of bodily conceptions cannot understand his situation. Bhagavad Gita was spoken to liberate one from the bodily conception of life, and Arjuna put himself in this position in order to receive this information from the Lord. One must become free from the bodily conception of life. That is the preliminary activity for the transcendentalist. One who wants to become free, who wants to become liberated must first of all learn that he is not this material body. Mukti or liberation means freedom from material consciousness. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also the definition of liberation is given. Muktir
Muktir hitvanyata rupam swarupena vyavastati.
Vyavasthiti. Mukti means liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world and situation in pure consciousness. All the instructions of Bhagavad Gita are intended to awaken this pure consciousness, and therefore we find at the last stage of the Gita's instructions that Krishna is asking Arjuna whether he is now in purified consciousness. Purified consciousness means acting in accordance with the instructions of the Lord. This is the whole sum and substance of purified consciousness. Consciousness is already there because we are part and parcel of the Lord. Both for us, but for us, there is the affinity of being affected by the inferior modes. But the Lord, being the Supreme, is never affected. That is the difference between the Supreme Lord and the small individual souls.
You can stop it here, Mataji. So,
Thank you.
thank you, Mataji. So earlier, whatever we discussed, it is elaborated here. So the more we are in the material world, the more we are conditioned. What is conditioned? Conditioned nothing but we are affinity. We have affinity towards, right? Say suppose I hang out with good people. I have good habits because I hang out good people. I see them. I listen to them. I follow them. So naturally, I get the affinity. I hang out with the bad people. What happened? I learn the bad habits. So basically, whatever the nature we are attached with or we like to, we get same kind of nature. That is why in the material world, what do they say? If you want to understand a person, see who the friends are with or who he friends with. What is the idea? That means if I know the friends of yours, I can tell what sort of person you are. Same nature. So if we hang out with the good people, we get good habits. If we hang out with the bad people, we get the bad habits. That is what here trying to. Now, what is liberation? What is mukti? This means this is condition. There is a condition applies. If you do this, this will get it. If you do this, you get this, right? Our whole life in this material world is driven based on this condition, is it not? This is called cause and effect. For example, we can go as basic as this. For example, a baby was born. A baby was born. What is the first thing doctors or mothers or anyone do? I don't know the modern days how the people are doing it. This is what I have seen in the old times, or at least my children when I see it. What is the first thing doctor do when the child was born? They clean up, do
Make them cry.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. They make them cry. Why? Why do they make them cry? Why do they make the baby cry, first of all?
Just to make sure that everything is all right. Like
Make sure of what? So crying makes everything all right?
To clean
his
them up
lungs,
inside.
lungs is working
So
and he's conscious.
that means correct. So crying means it's a natural symptom that something happening. So for us to tell cry, sound is the way to communicate, right? For anything we want to communicate outside of our body, the only means is sound. They wants to check this sound. That is what it is. Why they are making cry? Cry means to express, to come out, to bring out. That is what it is. By crying it, okay, she can cry, she can listen. They don't know whether she can listen or not. But the idea of that one is whoever cries, they can listen to. That's the idea. So that means, look at it. Even just newly born baby also, we have an expectation. An expectation we have. When we pinch, we do something, the baby must cry. Once they grow old, they go to school. What is the expectation? When they go to school, we expect them to learn something. When they're coming out of school, we expect them to get a job, sustain on their own. That means throughout our life, from the time we born till the time we die, there is always an expectation. Always a condition exists. A condition exists. If I want to live in this home, I have to follow certain rules, isn't it? Every household has a set of rules. Then only it works. Behaving the behavior between the spouses, behavior between the siblings, behavior between the relatives, behavior between the, among the neighbors. There is always a condition exists. This is what we are living. Now, if I want to get rid of this condition, where do I need to go? I have to liberate. Liberation means I don't want to follow the condition. Who are the people in the material world? They don't follow this condition. Who are they? In one sense, one word. Who are the people in the material world that doesn't follow the condition?
Sannyasis, Prabhu.
Sannyasis. But not only sannyasis. There are most common one word they use it. Who are the people, most common word that they don't follow, they don't know anything about what's happening? Who are they?
The people who are detached,
Detached. In other words, mental people.
mental people.
Mental people. Those who are mental, that means what exactly mental means? They don't care. Prabhuji used detached. So a mental person, he doesn't care the effect afterwards. He doesn't care, right? If you look at the person who is mentally retarded or something, does he care where his next meal is going to come? He doesn't care. He doesn't know. So in other words, the sannyasi knowingly everything have the knowledge and detaches himself, and some people without knowing anything detach themselves. Somehow they're all detached. That is the only way. So in the material world, if we want physically detached like this is the way. But as Mataji mentioned, sannyasis know everything and detach themselves. What is it, this one? That means he perfected. He perfected. What is he perfected? He perfected the life. He perfected the life. So he knew exactly what supposed to do. For example, the same example we did 2 weeks back or 1 week back, we all worked for Janmashtami. None of us or anyone who participated in that festival preparation does have any motive of their own. No, there is no material motive for anyone there. We all lived that 1 week completely, in a transcendental plane. That 1 week, all the time. We cooked, we discussed, we, this promotion, that promotion, how do we do this, how do we invite it, how to decorate it. We always think about that one. That means this is exactly go after Krishna. Whatever Krishna's interest, go after it. What are Krishna's interests? Krishna's interests are enjoy the life. Enjoy the life the way Krishna directed, not the way we feel it, or not the way we okay, I do whatever I wanted to do. No. Follow follow what Krishna did, what Krishna directed. That is what it is. Now, with all this in mind, now here Prabhupada is explaining about what is this consciousness. So this is the most important topic of today. So one more person can read this one. What is consciousness? Anyone would like to try? Don't be shy. No one wants to read?
I can read for you.
Yes, Prabhu. Please, Nayana Prabhu.
Thank you. What is this consciousness? This consciousness is I am. Then what am I? In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all I survey. I am the enjoyer. The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has two psychic divisions. One is that I am the creator, and the other is that I am the enjoyer. But actually, the Supreme Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. And the living entity, being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is neither the creator nor the enjoyer, but a cooperator. He is the he is the created and the enjoyed. For instance, a part of a machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates with the whole body. The hands, legs, eyes, and so on are all parts of the body, but they are not actually the enjoyers. The stomach is the enjoyer. The legs move, the hands supply food, the teeth chew, and all parts of the body are engaged in satisfying the stomach because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. Therefore, everything is given to the stomach. One nourishes the tree by watering its root, and one nourishes the body by feeding the stomach. For if the body is to be kept in a healthy state, then the parts of the body must cooperate to feed the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer and the creator, and we as subordinate living beings are meant to cooperate to satisfy him. This cooperation will actually help us, just as food taken by the stomach will help all other parts of the body. If the fingers of the hand think that they should take the food themselves instead of giving it to the stomach, then they will be frustrated. The central figure of creation and of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord, and the living entities are cooperators. By cooperation, they enjoy. The relation is also like that of the master and the servant. If the master is fully satisfied, then the servant is satisfied. Similarly, the Supreme Lord should be satisfied, although the tendency to become the creator and the tendency to enjoy the material world are there also in the living entities, because these tendencies are there in the Supreme Lord who has created the manifested cosmic world. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here is the consciousness example. So material consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So the definition of Krishna consciousness, what is that? ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. It's right? Krishna consciousness. So what is Krishna consciousness? So know that Krishna, that is material consciousness, know the material world, know the material things. So that is what it is. So this example is very well um, very well understood and very well known, isn't it? We can compare Krishna with the stomach and ourself with the limbs, or Krishna can be compared with a root and the rest is ourself. That means the stomach don't work, the hands and legs work, the eyes work, ears work, everything. That means except the stomach, all the parts work, isn't it? Except the stomach, all the parts work. Then they feed the stomach. And then what stomach is doing? Stomach taking and giving the energy back to all the limbs. All the limbs. Now think of it. If that food is not fed to the stomach, the food is available, but it is not fed to the stomach. So will all the limbs get energy? No. No matter how much food is available to the hands and legs and eyes and nose and ears and everything, they don't be satisfied unless the food fed to the stomach, and stomach is the only one that generates the energy required for the body parts. That means all our enjoyment, whatever we are seeking, must come from Krishna. There is no other way. There is no other way. It has to come from Krishna. That means we need to go after Krishna. Whatever his needs, we need to do that. Whatever his needs. That is the reason it says what? Jivera Swarupahaya Nityera Krishna Dasa. Isn't it? We are what? Our constitutional position is Dasa, Nitya Dasa, eternal servant. We are the servants of Krishna. We are not the enjoyers. We are the servants of Krishna. That means he is the master. And master is the one who enjoys it. And when master is satisfied, then he will let his servants satisfy. If master is happy, servants are happy. Not the other way around. Not the other way around. But here what we are doing, we want to be happy, not Krishna. We forget Krishna, we want to be happy. That means we becoming thieves. We becoming thieves, isn't it? He is the provider, he is the master. He has given our life, he has given our opulence, he has given our energy, he has given our existence, he has given the world, he has given everything. He is the supplier of everything. And aren't he supposed to be the one who must enjoy first? What right do we have to enjoy first? Because he is the one supplied everything, he is the one first to enjoy. But what are we doing? We becoming thieves. We becoming thieves. That is the reason why we are not happy. Do we see any thief who is peaceful? Any person who committed a mistake, is he peaceful? He may be appear peaceful outside, but he is guilty inside. Anytime, anywhere he see a police cop, his heart races like anything, isn't it? Because he is guilty. He cannot live forever with that guilty consciousness. He cannot. Now what happened? At some point of time in our lives, that guilty consciousness rises its voice. Then what happened? One of the two things will happen. Either will become devotees, give up the old sinful life and becoming devotees. Or other hand, what will happen? We completely give up everything and completely kill the consciousness and become asuras. Because that guilty consciousness is not letting me live peacefully. One of the two things will happen. I completely kill the consciousness and I become a demon. We can see in the material world these demons, isn't it? Those who commit cruel, heinous acts in our material world are those. That means what? They killed their consciousness completely. So there is no remorse. There is no bad or good or anything. They don't feel a thing at all. They don't feel the emotion at all. This is living a life of a demon. So this consciousness has these factors. Once the consciousness comes up, it speaks. Those who listens, they will convert, they become devotees. Those who don't, then they will become slowly demons. So this is very, very important. This consciousness is very, very important. Why? Because consciousness is of everything for us. Because of this consciousness, today we are all on this call. Is it not? I will give one example of myself. Before I come to Krishna consciousness or taking this process seriously, even though since 5-year-old I was pretty much raised in the same kind of environment, listening to Bhagavad Gita, all this, and God consciousness, everything. But I was never serious. I was never serious. And I never give my ear to listen this. You know why? If I listen seriously, I know that I have to convert. I don't want to. I don't want to convert. That is the reason anytime anyone says, what you call, you know, uh, Gita Patanam, what you call, there's a famous word in kind of, what is it? Everyday reading Gita, what do you call it? I forgot that word, you know. So every day reading Bhagavad Gita, I jump, I ran. I know that it will convert, but I don't want it to be. I want it to enjoy. I'm tired of living as a good boy. Especially, I have a very good name in my street. My parents, my neighbors, everyone know me, and they will give me as a reference. Rama is a good boy. Like that, they will give my name. I tired of that good name. So what do? I will behave like a good boy in my street. As soon as I cross my street, the real me comes out. Most naughty, notorious guy, having groups, kind of leading fightings, this and that, and so many things. Nonsense. That is who I am. So see this consciousness. Because of that association, I was raised like that in that association, even though I have some affinity of doing bad things, but because of that constant association without leaving, for whatever the reason it is, whether I like it or not like it, but I was into that association for a longer time. Then what happened? One day I gave up completely all of them and I came here. This is what exactly the association helps us. That means our consciousness has both sides. In other words, a lot of times in the movies, it says that I haven't given a choice. I don't have any option. These are the words we see it. Or even in our lives also, most often we see this one. That is not true. The option always there. The choice is always there. There is not even a single moment that we are without choice. Choice is always there. Always there. We don't know. We don't see it. That's all it is. The choice is always there. Oh, I was born like this one, so I don't have a choice. Oh, I am like this, I don't have a choice. No, we always have a choice. But the choice may be difficult. The choice may be difficult. But difficult doesn't mean that I don't have a choice. That is wrong. So here, especially, this consciousness is telling that how we are influenced by this material nature, so we becoming less. If we are influenced by spiritual nature, then we increase our consciousness more. Think of it, for example, for an hour we are sitting on this class discussing. What are we gaining? Materially, you are not gaining. Materially, you are not praised by mundane people. Materially, you don't get any money. Materially, nobody knows what you are doing. But yet, you're all sitting here. Why? Why? That means you all firmly believe that someday, this will help you to get what you want. That is the reason. That firm faith, never lose it. Today we may not able to feel Krishna. Today we may not able to enjoy this 1 hour, like watching a movie or like watching some kind of dances. Especially nowadays, what is this? What you call in marriages? All these there is one songs they play and dance one day. What is that called? Sangeet, Sangeet something. Sangeet something, I don't know. At times like that, what do? We all feel happy, all the known people comes and we play songs and we dance like that one. We may not feel like that now, but at some point in our life, either this may be this life or the next life, but at some point in our life, we do see that. We do see that. We have seen already in our Maharaja's cases. I don't know how many of you sensed it. Some Maharajas, they exhibit it, isn't it? I have seen it. When Radhanath Swami speaks, how many of you felt that, a pure voice is coming from Maharaj's smile, Maharaj's words, everything is coming with such an aura, you can feel it. Same, the smile of Bhaktichar Swami. It's like a smile without any contamination. Smile is good enough to feel relieved, isn't it? And also I have seen Anmat Precious Swami, and unfortunately I have a close relationship, and I have seen him. Whenever he dances, whenever he waves his hand, he is not definitely in this world at all. He completely, he transforms himself to somewhere else. We can really see it. That means by strictly following this process, what was given, we do get that level. So there is nothing to worry about it. All we have to is believe in this process and follow it. So I will stop it here, and let us see if we have any comments or questions. So let us complete this one last paragraph. I will read it myself so that we'll have a clean start. We shall find, therefore, in this Bhagavad Gita that the complete whole is comprised of the Supreme Controller, the controlled living entities, the cosmic manifestation, the eternal time, and karma or activities. And all of these are explained in this text. All of these taken completely form the complete whole. All of these taken completely form the complete whole, and the complete whole is called Supreme Absolute Truth. This is basically Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Isn't it? That is exactly that line. Ishopanishad, invocation. That's the verse. That's the verse he is talking about it. We are complete. Krishna is complete. Anything that is emanating from Krishna is complete. So the complete whole and the complete absolute truth are complete personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. All manifestations are due to his different energies. He is the complete whole. This is the conclusion. So the Bhagavad Gita concludes what? The Bhagavad Gita concludes that everything is Krishna. There is nothing but Krishna. We're all part of Krishna. Nature is part of Krishna. Everything is Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita confirms. Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter 4th verse confirms. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. So the Lord is pervaded the entire universe in an unmanifested form. That means we are all from within him. So even Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter 8th verse. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Everything is emanating from me. That means we are all from Krishna. Clear, clear. So there is nothing but Krishna in this one verse. Those who know about that one, they will be happy. So I'll stop it here and let us see if we have any comments or questions for 5 minutes. So you can open your mics and you can pass on your